Out from the Fortress Speed with the Ministry of Speed and, of course, Phoenix Motorsports, Wallace the Dog, and Kamikaze Fox. That's right. Got an extra commentator here in the booth for race 2 as well as race 1. A great race, race 1. Fox, you gotta admit, man, that was some exciting racing there between One Space and Estoza, Matchbox, Rosta. What are your thoughts on that?
Race 1 was definitely a top-notch race. A lot of good, hard racing going on at the front. Unfortunately, Estoza ended up with the short end of the stick, ended up on his roof, had a full course caution, and just some unbelievable running between Ryan Wingate and Matchbox, and everything done very well, very professionally in the dry. But now we've got race 2 on our hands, and weather looks like it's going to be a huge factor. Foggy, rainy. All you can see is headlights. You can't see what cars they are until they're almost on top of you. So.
Well, they wanted to race in heavy fog or some kind of rain right now, but yeah, we definitely got rain in the forecast, so we want to give these guys the adverse conditions warm up 5 minutes, make sure they have all their settings, their wet tires, pit strategies all set, their fuel, their damage, because there's definitely going to be some broken wings and some broken noses here at Spa. 50-minute race coming up. Again, this is a default series setup, so it's all about the driver. I'm excited, man, to watch guys like One Space drive from the back after that big crash. Of course, Ghost spinning out with Matchbox on lap 1. I told him right now, I said, Ghost, you got to slow your roll, buddy. I mean, you threw away a win, I think. That Bendy had enough pace, I think, to stay in front of One Space and Estoza had he got out front. But unfortunately, he didn't do that, and ended up in the back, the rear with the gear, ended up finishing second. So,
and as we've seen here at Spa, especially in the dry race, it's not going to matter as much in the wet, but in the dry, like you said, Ghost had the pace, and clean air is king here on this high-speed track. So
absolutely.
I think Ghost could have definitely made a run for the front and probably kept it there. He definitely would have had his hands full with the 2 Mercedes. But you just never know. I mean, 2 high-class drivers, one stopping Nestoza going at it, and, it ended in tears for Nestoza. So
yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. It's not over until the fat lady sings, and boy howdy, she wasn't singing until the very end for Matchbox and Ryan Wingate.
Oh, absolutely. And again, Ryan Wingate with a fantastic drive, man. I mean, you got to be impressed with Wingate's drive, man. I mean, battling it out with Matchbox, staying in the back there with Nestoza on One Space, drivers that clearly had a little bit more pace than him, but still hanging on there, staying in the fight, almost taking that third step, but just dropping the ball there. As he said, he had a little penalty there, had to slow down, and that gave Matchbox the momentum to get around him and take that third spot.
And the fog is just going to wreak havoc on these guys. I mean, if something happens at the front or happens in front of you, I mean, you're not going to see it until you're almost on top of it. So, especially if a car happens to be sideways, there's no lights to see.
Right.
You're going to be coming up on a wall. So the weather definitely going to be a factor here. It's always good to see a weather race. The rain is always the great equalizer. So who can show their wet weather prowess is going to be interesting to see. Just because you're fast in the dry doesn't make you fast in the wet. That's for sure. And I think some other drivers in real life have definitely proven that. I mean, Michael Schumacher was always king in the wet. I mean, obviously king in the dry as well.
Dragging in the wall here. Speaking of crashing, Dragon already crashing in the wall here in P13. He's already knocked that Cadillac.
That is unfortunate for Dragon. He had a tumultuous first race.
Yeah.
I believe he gets to start on pole, but in an effort like that, he's not going to stay up front very long, unfortunately.
No. I agree. So he's limping back to the pit road here. Yeah, he's definitely shortened that Cadillac up about a foot or two. But yeah, he's gonna have his hands full starting pole there. I've given him instructions on how to do it and where to go. He said he was gonna start at the start-finish line on the straight up to Rouge. So it's gonna be a single file start with Dragon at the point. When they get to the bus stop, though, I'm sure he's gonna have guys on his left and his right trying to get around him there. So let's see if he can't hold that Cadillac down and at least lead a lap or two. But again,
it would definitely be good to see some of the guys like that have to, be able to be out in front like that. I think it's a great opportunity for them to, run in some clean air and see what it's like to race, trying to hold somebody off like that.
Sure.
Instead of always chasing somebody, you
sure,
find the opportunity to at least,
fend them off. Yeah, definitely. Well, it gives them experience. You know, it's a great confidence booster to be out front, regardless of whether you got pole or not. You know, all you know at that moment is that, hey, I'm in the front row of the starting grid at Spa-Francorchamps, a GT3 race. You know, your heart's got to be beat 100 miles an hour, man. You know, I'm definitely excited for Dragon, and we'll see if he can't, at least, like I said, lead a lap or two. Right behind him is going to be. I believe it was going to be Blaze, but it's going to be Edward Kindred since he dropped out. Farkey was going to be starting in the back as well. So those three are going to be in the back. Excuse me, those two are going to be in the back.
There's a couple of drivers that dropped off last race that we didn't even really notice until it was too late in the going. I mean, Hendrick walked away quietly. We didn't even know it. Farkey walked away quietly. And
well, you know what he said?
Farkey actually had a halfway decent run going there for a little while.
Yeah, he just said his thing. Yeah, he couldn't finish the race, but Toka, I had invited him in, and I don't know if he made the session or not. I had invited him in qualifying. There was still some time left, but I don't know if he made the cut or not. But he's definitely in now, and we'll see where he's going to start in the back. So, yeah, these guys are fast. We'll see if they can't finish the race. I can't believe Hendrick. I messaged him right now. I asked him what was wrong. He didn't respond. So, obviously not happy with his result. They were up to, what, 3rd and 4th, him and Mr. Hayne, and then they went back down to 9th and 10th, and his day just went south from there.
It was a very up and down day for Team Audi. I feel like that they probably had a lot more in it. I mean, Mr. Hayne, obviously your championship points leader. I mean, his day was definitely up and down, and definitely took a shot in the points today.
Oh yeah,
with one stop, taking the win.
One space.
So, but it'll be interesting with the reverse grid though to see, you know, the time differences. And in the wet, I mean, right now it just looks like it's a little foggy. It doesn't look like the rain's really started to come down yet, but it'll be different to see the time differences between these guys. I mean, obviously nobody really set a qualifying time. They're going to, you know, set the grid on their own formation lap. But I mean, really, the guys starting in the back that were fastest, I mean, Ghost, we saw how aggressive he was in qualifying. We saw how aggressive he was on the start. Him starting in the back, I mean, it could be an amazing drive or it could be an absolute disaster. So getting ready for this wet weather race. So they're lined up currently, not how they will start this race, but Ghost is going to be in the Bentley, Farkey running in that GMP Porsche 911, Winchester in the golf-colored AMG Mercedes, Ryan Wingate in the Hurricane. We've got the Toraka in the Ferrari. Is that a 488? Or is it a 460? I can't remember in this game. We've got one stop in the Mercedes-Benz Hot Wheels car, your race 1 winner. Snoopa Doopa in the Lamborghini. T-Bax in the other Lamborghini. And then we got Mr. Hayne in the Audi. Matchbox in the Porsche 911. Hendrick also in the Audi. Dragon, who will be starting on pole, since he was dead last, reverse grid order. He'll be starting on pole in the Cadillac ATS. And then we've got Death Pusher in the Bentley. That's going to round out your 14 drivers. So the light's going to go green, but we are going to...
Rolling start. Easy. There we go. So the slower cars are going to be coming up to the front here. The cars that, like you said, started in last or finished in the last spots here are going to be in the front of the grid here. So looks like everybody's got it together here. There's no tire warming allowed here as they do in the block paint series in the European. In the yeah, I guess what series is that? They don't do tire warming in. I think it is the block paint series, the North American block paint. European drivers, they do a lot of tire warming, and I know when they come race and the block paint series here, they get pinged a lot during the cautions when they're weaving back and forth. So again, we're limiting tire warming to 0 here because of chance of contact. It just adds to the wait delay of the start. You know, if somebody's got contact, they got to go in and fix it, and you know, it just wreaks havoc with it. So Looks like they're taking it easy, parade formation here, waving at all the fans here. That's right. Get your Hendrick blow-up dolls, and of course, Astos chaps available now at the Hendrick trailer. Also, get your FarQ barbecue pits, the FarQ barbecue pit, and the oven mitt available now. What about the Kamikaze Fox hand puppet? That's what I want, man. Are there any of those in the trailer there?
They're sold out.
Sold out. Sold out with a Kung Fu grip. Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, it was a real popular item this week.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So Dragon leading them down the Kemmel Straight here on the formation lap. Going to be your pole sitter. He's followed by Winchester in that AMG Golf Mercedes. T-Bac's going to be starting in third in that Lamborghini. I think that'll be interesting to watch him start from third. Snoopa Doopa had a pretty good run. He'll be starting in fourth. I think he'll be interesting to see as well. Then Mr. Hain, championship points leader, starting in fifth. He was running in fifth until he ran into some problems late in the going. He could be dangerous. He could be the dark horse this race and possibly be the Dragon Slayer if he gets his way to the front.
He's almost starting in the same position that he did in the last race. Didn't he start in P5 in the last race as well?
I believe he did. He actually qualified in fifth. And you've got Death Pusher in sixth.
Stupid going a little wide there, almost collecting.
Ryan Wingate will be starting in seventh. Matt Box behind him, starting in eighth. Ghost starting in ninth, and we know how aggressive he's been. We talked about it already, and that's
we saw it.
One Stop will be starting in the 10th spot. And then Hendrick, who didn't finish the race, and Taraka, who did not participate in the race, and then FarQ did not finish the race.
Actually, his name is Tokutta from the Mad Max movie. Tokutta.
Tokutta, okay.
Tokutta, yeah. Taraka, that's a good one. There's Farquaad and Taraka. Taraka. It sounds like a bunch of cavemen. FarQ, FarQ. Hey! This is a G-rated program, sir. So watch the language there. So Dragon leading around here. He's gonna go green once they get around the horseshoe there and take it around. What's the corner where Grosjean crashed at that one time in F1? That leads onto that front straightaway, the old front straightaway. What corner do they call that? What do they call that?
The heading into the first corner. That
yeah. I should download a map.
That is La Source.
La Source. Okay, well, La Source.
La Source is the first corner. Basically, you head to La Source, which is that tight hairpin, and then Eau Rouge is at the bottom of the hill, and then Radion is at the top of the hill.
Right.
And then you have Kemmel, or the Kemmel Straight, I should say, and that heads down to Les Combs.
So Winchester is definitely going to try to make a move early on here. As soon as he has the opportunity to go green, he's going to try to get underneath that Cadillac. I can already see it now. He's just, I can
tell you right now, from the way those cars are set up, there's a little bit of turbo lag in that Cadillac with that turbocharged V6, and the torque monster of the Mercedes, I think, is going to have a good jump. As long as he doesn't get too much wheel spin and he modulates that throttle okay, he could get a good jump. The other thing, too, is that he's going to start this on the other side of La Source.
Right.
Not here, but on the other side. So you're definitely going to want to go single file down the hill.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Now watch Winchester here. He's definitely going to try to root and gouge his way up the hill. He's going to try to move that Cadillac over. He's very aggressive. Whoa, David Curry.
Oh, and Dragon gives it a little hot, and here we go.
And we're off to see the Wizard.
As they head down the hill.
And David Curry taking the pole position here and starting the race here at Spa GT3 Gunslingers series for the Phoenix Motorsports group here. Up the hill he goes. Oh, way wide there. Oh, he's not the only one going way wide. There's another one way out there.
Oh, who was that?
I don't know, but whoever that was went way out there. Oh my God! Here he goes. There goes Winchester. Definitely looking to the left. Lights are flashing back here. That's going to be Snoopa trying to put pressure on Winchester. Oh, David Curry and Winchester.
Side by side through left cones here through the exit.
Oh yeah, good deal there. Oh, whoa, boy.
The Cadillac gets loose coming out of the corner. Here comes Snoopa Doopa to the inside.
Yo! And there's Ghost right there trying to make a move. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, but here comes Ghost.
So Dragon.
He's big time into the inside, and he hits Snoopa Doopa, pushes him wide, and Snoopa comes back at him. And I don't think Snoopa's too happy with that move. And it looks like he might have a little bit of fender damage.
Yeah,
and Ghost now going to the outside of Dragon, trying to get to the inside of him.
Well, Dragon had to roll out of the throttle there, and that's what checked him up. All of them checked up.
Oh, and a big hit by Dragon! And Ghost!
Ghost hit Dragon. Oh, one space hits Dragon as well. Oh, so David Curry went sideways. Ghost actually hit him from behind and sent Dragon spinning. There's Death Pusher.
Oh, and Death Pusher's falling through the order as well.
Oh my God! So are they cautioning
Dragon, unfortunately, is now in 10th.
Are they cautioning him up? What are they doing here? They are
We're
not.
gonna pick up Winchester. Looks like
Wow.
Winchester's off to the races.
So where's-
Super Duper, meanwhile, he's got the Mr. Hain all over the back of him.
So they're still racing. Ghost, a big hit on Dragon. I'm trying to see the front end of his car here, and not too much damage. A little bit, not very much. Again, gets away with a lot of the visual damage. So he said he was up to 6 on the damage meter with that contact that he had against the wall there in the first race. Yeah, they are cautioning up here. So good deal with that. They're going to try to get organized here. Who's going to pit? Who's not going to pit? I wonder if Ghost is going to go in. I know definitely David Curry needs to go in there and get that Cadillac re-straightened out there, man. That's got to be some suspension damage because he took a big shot from Ghost and then another shot from one space.
That's too bad for Dragon there.
Yeah.
Not how he wanted to have this race running in second when it happened. And one space and Ghost, I mean, they both had altercations in the first race.
Yeah.
And it looks like one space is heading into the pits, and so is Ghost. So they're going to be at the back of the field again.
Yeah.
We'll pick up Winchester.
Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Well, they were starting in the back of the field anyway, but they got to have fresh tires. They got to have 2 lap fresher tires than the rest of the group here. So.
Yeah, but I mean, the first lap was under, the formation lap, and now this one's going to be under caution. So tire temps are still going to be down for a lot of these guys. It's not going to matter.
Right, I agree.
And
I agree.
The other thing too is that with Ghost and one space in the pits, I mean, it's a caution lap, so they're still going to be bunched up at the back of this field.
So Farkey, one space, toe cutter, and Ghost all in the pits here, trying to repair damage. Ghost, the first one out. And he's scurrying off now, currently at P10.
I'm surprised Dragon has stayed out. He stayed out. He didn't go to the pits, and he's running in the 8th spot.
He's got nothing to lose, man. He's got nothing to lose by staying out there like that. I mean, he wants to stay out in front of these guys, and I think that's. I would have pit personally, but I mean, I can see his reasoning for it. Maybe he didn't get as much damage as we originally thought.
The hood's definitely buckled on that car. I mean, maybe he doesn't have suspension damage, but he's definitely got some aero damage.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, again.
And if you're going to pit, you might as well do it under caution because it's going to take them a while to get around this track.
Yeah, they're going to do it again the same way.
I think Dragon definitely has made a bad call here, not going into pit.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And you can see one space is already back out.
They're catching back up there because Ghost came out first, then it's toe cutter, one space, and then Farq. So Brian Bedlow all the way back to P12, race winner of race 1 here. So let's see. I'm sure he could drive through the field. I mean, he's definitely shown his racecraft and his driving prowess. But again, anything can happen when you have a wet track and cars in front of you slipping and sliding. So it's going to be a minefield for him to walk through. And hopefully he'll be able to tiptoe his way through to another victory.
The worst part is the rain hasn't even come yet. This was their chance to separate themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the chance for the drivers to set in some hot laps, try and separate themselves, especially the leaders from the rest of the pack. And unfortunately, I mean, it's great that they've done the full course caution. But the rain's going to be coming at any time, and they're going to have to be bunched up again. So, wet weather going to be a factor here shortly. I'm sure.
I would say within about the 25-minute mark, somewhere in there, roughly. Well, it's going to be interesting to find out where Winchester goes green at. Now, David went as soon as he made the corner. And started speeding up there. He started accelerating there. He wasn't up to full song until at least he crossed the stripe. But Winchester, he's a crafty devil. He might try to do the old, what's that maneuver they call where they slow everybody down, bunch them all up, and then he shoots off, kind of like a slinky type maneuver, like a little like a snake.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll see how he does that. Look at all the cars are really tight now together. They don't want to have that same mistake and get spread out like they did there. But yeah, they're all within a half a car length of each other. That's really great racing there. Tight stuff, tight formation, and Winchester just leading him around real slow, man. I don't trust that guy, man. He's a slippery devil, man, for sure.
Well, he's taking him all the way down to the chicane, so at this point I'm thinking he's probably going to end up going green at the start-finish line, which I appreciate from, you know...
Me too.
For whatever reason, it seems to be a European thing to just go when you feel like it. I like the American version where you go with the start-finish. It seems to make sense. So he comes out of the chicane and...
Not yet. Whoa. Who's that behind Mr. Hayne here? Rosta getting racy. Pushing Hayne a little bit there.
And there he goes. I think he's on it.
Yeah, he's definitely on it now. He crossed the start-finish line.
He's on it now. Here we go. Green.
Oh, Rosta goes wide. Matchbox just underneath him. Rosta fights back.
And Rosta just can't get away from each other
oh, my
today.
God. Whoa.
And T-Back's coming off of the curbs. He almost lost the back end of the car.
I saw that. He almost looped that thing around.
Oh, and look at this.
Drag it all the way to the last one.
Behind Matt's box, and you know he's got to be tired of looking at the back of that Porsche.
Oh, he said that Lamborghini was not conducive to good driving there in that dirty air. And, he's got... Oh, that's Hendrick getting around Wingate as well.
With a great move up there through the Kemble Straight.
So Hendrick looking for a bit of redemption here. Trying to finish a race
at one space. What is up with this Mercedes? It is just a rocket ship.
Where is he? He is, where is he?
He's currently in ninth.
Ninth, I got him here.
He's battling it out with Ghost.
Yeah, he got around Ghost there, or he's in front of Ghost. Yeah, he did get around Ghost. Yeah, because Ghost came out before him. So losing that position was Ghost to one space. So, wow.
And speaking of Mercedes, Winchester is starting to check out here on Snoopa Doopa. Almost the second gap over that second place car.
Well, I'll tell you what, Winchester's got the legs of the Mercedes, and that's what he really wanted, was to start in clean air.
Yeah, clean air is going to be king here. It's not going to matter here in a little while when the wet weather starts to come.
No, not at all.
But you can see Mr. Hayne is now running in third. He's got Matchbox all over the back of him.
Mr. Hayne's a great wet weather driver. So is Matchbox. Winchester's
in one space, trying to make a power move. He's up into seventh now. He got around Death Pusher, and he's brought Ghost with him. So Death Pusher loses 2 spots in 2 corners. And now he's all over the back of Ryan Wingate.
Now we saw what happened with last time. Rosa went way wide there, and one space had an easy pick. And look at that! Oh!
And this Mercedes, in one space, I mean, they're going together like bread and butter.
Absolutely.
I mean, the car is just fitting his driving style, and he's able to work it. And it's just unbelievable how much speed he's got over the rest of these cars. On the back
bumper of Hendrick. Look at that on the inside. Ghost! Oh no! They're brutally and gouging. They're beating and banging. Brad Bellow says, I'm not having none of that. And Jack's Jack's Ghost
tries to get the power back down and bops off of the curb, almost takes out Ryan Wingate.
Wow. So Brian Bellow just holding his own there and saying, no sirree, Bob or Rooney, we're not having none of that, and just hangs tough. Good job there from one space. I was going to call him one stop, but you got to be calling him one stop.
And Wingate loses another spot to Ghost, so Wingate is now down into the 8th spot. Ghost up into 7th.
I'm bored with Rosta 236. Let's take a look.
Mr. Hayne has made the move past Matchbox up into the 2nd spot, and he's closing the gap to Winchester.
So Mr. Hayne in that Audi, I guess semi-clean air here. Let's see if he can bust the move here. Now Winchester is just about as crusty as Mr. Hayne here. Mr. Hayne's a little bit more refined in his picking and choosing of when he's going to pass. I guess you would call Winchester more of a barbarian type clubber. He's just going to go, he's a berserker. But Mr. Hayne,
Mr. Hayne a little bit more methodical.
A little bit more methodical. Yeah, definitely. Definitely a little bit more polished when it comes to that. So let's see if we can find an opening here. If Winchester leaves a gap for him here.
Now the top 3 have separated themselves from the rest of this pack. Hendrick is running in 4th, but he's about 2 seconds behind. Actually, 3 seconds behind the battle for the front 3 spots.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Matchbox here. He's right on the back bumper of Mr. Hayne, watching if Mr. Hayne can get around. Ooh, goes a little wide there. Get around Winchester. Oh, he's right there. Come on. Eee!
We're watching Ghost all over the back of one space now in the Mercedes, and it's a battle of the V8s there. The brute force of the V8 from the Mercedes and the Bentley.
I tell you what,
out two big heavy cars.
That Bentley sounds like a tank, man. Boom! I mean, that thing sounds like a grumbling dinosaur, man. I love it, man. That thing's deep throaty bass sound.
There's one space to the
I
inside.
see it.
Oh, and he's going to get by Stupa. Stupa has to run wide. Now it's 3 wide down the backstretch.
There it is.
They make contact.
Oh, no!
A huge wreck.
Oh,
one
no!
space on his roof. One space is done. Ghost is into the wall.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable crash. And
caution,
we should really go yellow, yellow, yellow.
Yeah, caution definitely out. Brian Bedlow out of the race here on his lid. Look at that. On his lid. Window net's still up on that machine. Corner workers not trying to.
Unbelievable.
Wow, look at that.
Stupa is into the pits as well. Massive damage to him.
Yeah,
and that is just
a tumultuous accident. Wow. Payback, karma, whatever. Look at that. One space machine is done. Let me see if I can get him on the horn here, and he's got to retire.
It looks like Winchester has slowed down at the top of Radion now to let the group rebunch. And
wow.
One space is bringing the car into the pits now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
That thing is just mangled.
I'm gonna have to tell him to retire because he reset. He was upside down. His day's over, pretty much. Well, you're upside down. Your day's over. Let's see here. So
and that is amazing.
That was a crazy wreck, man. I was on board with one space. I mean, I'm sorry, with Ghost as one space was on his lid there. So I gotta tell him, come on, Brian, come on, load up, PS button.
The second full course caution of this race, and we haven't even had to deal with the wet weather yet. So I would hate to see what's going to happen with these drivers when the rain starts to come. Definitely in the forecast. You can see the clouds starting to roll in. It's getting a little dark there in the background. So Winchester still your leader. Mr. Hain has moved into the second spot. Matt's Box is now in the third. Hendrick has clawed his way into fourth, and Ryan Wingate, despite all the stuff going on track around him, he's been able to stay in the fifth spot. Death Pusher is now into sixth. Toe Cutter is into seventh. Far Q into eighth.
Yeah, I think Brian has to. One space needs to retire here. If I can get the PlayStation app to come up here. Where is he?
Snoopa Doopa in the ninth spot, trying to catch up to the pack. T-Bax is running in 10th, and Ghost has been in and out of the pits, and that is a one mangled Bentley, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's not gonna go far with that.
He's in the 11th spot, so one space is actually out on track. He does need to retire.
Yeah, I'm telling him right now.
If he does not retire, he will not be credited with a finish for this race. And Dragon, your pole sitter, unfortunately, is looks like he's taken this time to pit. Yeah. He's now on the Kemmel Straight, and his car is still banged up from the earlier accident. He is currently running in 13th. Actually, I should say 12th, because one space is... it looks like one space is pulling off to the side.
Yeah, he got it.
And it looks like he will be done for the day. So one space done, so that moves Dragon into 12th. So we started with... started with Dragon on pole, and he's all the way to the back. One space done for the day. That's crazy. 2 races, Nestoza and one space. The 2 Mercedes that really were the top dogs, looking like from practice earlier in the week. They looked unstoppable, but aggressive driving has called them out on both occasions.
Wow, so one space in the garage now. Let's see if we can get an interview with him. Let me see if I can get him up here in the booth here. He's probably not going to want to talk, but what can I tell you? What a race! What so far it's unfolding. I didn't expect this. I know you didn't either. One space on his lid early on with Ghost.
3 wide. You can go 2 wide there, but 3 wide's not going to work on this track.
That was just an accident waiting to happen.
So here we go, Winchester leading him back to green once again.
All right. So here we go.
And green.
He's off.
Looks like he is on the loud pedal, and here we go down into turn 1, La Source. Oh, and Hendrick looks like he's trying to make a move early. Oh, he gets to the inside of Matt's box.
Wow.
He's trying to get the power down, and here comes Ryan Wingate.
Now, guys, let's not go side by side into Eau Rouge and have ourselves another caution. But that looks exactly like what Hendrick's trying to do. Tucks back in line, luckily, at the bottom of the hill. And here comes Wingate to the top of Radion, runs very wide. Lamborghini just does not like dirty air whatsoever.
Not at all.
A lot of shuffling going on in the back. Cars running side by side. T-Bac's looking to make a move. Oh, and he's going to... Oh, he threads the needle 3 wide.
Nice.
And T-Bax gets a 2-for-1 deal heading into Les Combs. Great move by T-Bax. And we've got... RQ is being pursued by Ghost for the 8th spot. But there is a battle up front now. Winchester's checked out a little bit by a second. Mr. Haynes under pressure from Matt's box. And right behind him is Hendrick. Oh no, and Hendrick goes around, he's hard into the wall. Oh, and look at this, the Porsche. Oh no, Hendrick, where's the Porsche?
Oh, that's Farku.
Farku has gone around.
So Hendrick
into the wall.
Where is he? There he comes. Oh, heavy damage on that car. Big time.
Yeah, big time. The right front is clobbered as he went nose first on the wall. Hendrick is going to be kicking himself in the butt. I can hear it now. Meanwhile, while all this is unfolding, Mr. Hayne is looking to make a move on Winchester back at the front for the battle for the first spot. When he drops the right sides in the grass. Here we go down towards the bus stop chicane. Mr. Hayne not close enough to make a move unless he sends it in deep. He's not going to. As Six Gun Johnny said earlier, he's a little bit more methodical about where he wants to pass and how he wants to do it. Gets a good run coming out of the chicane down towards turn 1, La Source. Winchester trying to take a defensive line and take that inside line away from him. Matt's box is all over the back now. You can throw a blanket over the top 3 cars.
Absolutely. Hendrick peels up now.
Out of La Source.
Hendrick in the pits now, as well as a Snoopa Dupa. So, where are you at now? Mr. Hayne battling it there. Look at that. 3-3, top 3. Matt's box flashing his lights at Mr. Hayne. Up the hill they go. Oh, boy.
I don't think Mr. Hayne's going to be one to get rattled by a couple of flashing lights.
Not at all.
Whoa! And he's got a good run. Slipstreaming. And he's going to get a double slipstream as he tucks in behind Winchester.
And pushes his way past Mr. Hayne.
This is going to be...
Mr. Hayne holds the line.
Coming in here.
Oh, contact!
He makes contact, and around goes Matt's box. And no, he gets clobbered by Ryan Wingate. Wingate's into the wall. And Winchester's going to skip away. Here comes Death Pusher, trying to make his way through the field, through the melee.
Wow, it hasn't even started raining yet, man.
This second race has been unbelievable to watch, and it has been a mess. And this Winchester is just... He is just dancing his way to a 5-second gap now.
Mr. Hayne with big damage. He can't keep that thing on the track.
Big damage. Yeah, and around goes Death Pusher. Death Pusher's going to move into the 3rd spot. Ryan Wingate's going to move up.
Ryan took a...
Ryan cuts back in line.
Yeah, he gave a good shot there. Oh, Mr. Hayne goes wide there. He can't keep that car pinned down there.
The rain is starting to fall.
What did I tell you? Right at the 25-minute mark, I knew I was right on the time there. So, wow.
And T-Bax is looking to make a move on Wingate for the 5th spot.
Well, this is their opportunity to pit and fix that damage and get back in the fight here with wet tires, fresh wet tires. Everybody's going to have to pit, so this is almost as good as a full course caution. But these guys with damage need to come in right now. This very lap here. Don't pass the pits and go around. There's going to be some drivers that elect to go around and try it one more time, but I wouldn't advise that at all at this point.
I think if you have the damage, you need to pit now and just suck it up.
Absolutely.
Chances are the guys leading at the front are going to try and stay out. T-Bax gets knocked it to the wall.
I saw that.
Now he's got right front damage.
Oh my God. That was Mr. Hayne there going a little wide there, and look at that. There's Ghost. T-Bax
Mr. Hayne is, you can tell the car is struggling for grip right now. He's got suspension damage. He's got aero damage.
Yeah. They're coming in. Oh, Rosa stays out. Hayne goes in.
Ryan Wingate's going to stay out, and he's going to gamble on an extra lap of slicks. And T-Bax is going to come with him, and so is Ghost.
Oh, my God. So Rosa in P1. Rosa has moved up to
Ryan
P1.
Wingate Now, it'll be interesting to see how much time he loses, if any, running on these slicks. I can only imagine he's only going to run this one extra lap to try and make up for it.
Well, I tell you what, Rosa 236
now, it looks like Matt's box is going to be the first one out of the pits on wet tires.
Rosa 236 is probably my oldest ministry member, Phoenix Motorsports member. Joined my league when I first started it here, this latest league. He's been with me about 4 years now. He's run 1 million wet weather races. If anybody could get around this track and make some time, it will be him. He's got probably some of the better experience, some of the most experience, should I say, than most of these guys out here. So let's see if Ryan can put all that schooling and training to play here, being chased by the marauding Ghost. That Bentley wants to get around in a bad way. He wants it so bad he's staying out. He's gambling, like you said, on the slick tires. But will he realize what's happening? Because I know Rosa knows what's going on. Rosa's driving like he's supposed to. Look at that. He's taking his time. He's easy into the corners, easy in and easy out. But look at Ghost pushing a little wide there. I don't know.
There are so many wounded cars on the track right now, and I think right now Matt's box is in the catbird seat. He's got a little bit of aero damage on the right front corner, but he was the first one out of the pits. He should be on wet tires.
I wonder if he fixed his damage. I guess not, right? He came out that quick, though.
He did come out quick because Winchester was leading when they came in, but Winchester's fallen all the way back to 5th, and he is like 15 seconds behind Matt's box.
Where is Matt's box? I don't see him on the...
He's running in 4th.
Oh, there he is. He's in 4th. Okay, I see him now. Okay. So, Ghost, again, not able to... he's trying to get around Rosta, but, again, Rosta's just running his normal line here, and Ghost just can't seem to get the speed to get around him here. Let's see if Ryan gives it a little gas here. So far, so good. No spin, no wheel spin, no juking and jiving.
Ghost should just hold his position if he plays.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so.
Chances are Wingate's going to be heading in this lap as well. So you're this far into the lap. You're almost to the chicane. Just hold your position. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, there's no point in passing him. There's no point in passing him right now. Good job. Good job. There he goes. Yeah. Oh, Ghost stays out.
Stay out one more lap.
Not a good idea.
Try one more lap.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea. The rain is going to be coming here, folks, and he's not going to be. By the time he gets to the top of the mountain, it's going to be soaking wet up there.
T-Bax is heading to the pits as well, so that's. Oh, and look at this. Matt's box looks like he did make a mistake, and he probably didn't put on the wets.
He comes back in.
He might have gone in and come back out. So Matt's box, we thought he might have made the switch to the wets, and it looks like he didn't. So Winchester now.
Back up to P1. No,
Winchester is Ghost is gonna be P1, but for all intents and purposes, Winchester is gonna be your leader when Ghost pits.
So Ghost, Rosa's still showing P2 here.
Ryan Wingate's still in the pits.
And there goes Winchester. Now he's in P2. So he's coming around the corner here. Rosa's still... Here he comes. He's out. Rosa 236 is out. So he's going to come out of P3. Hopefully, if Death Pusher... He can be Death Pusher on the corner here. Here he goes. And where's Death Pusher at?
It's a drag race.
Oh, boy. Ryan wants to get in front of Death Pusher. He does not want to let him get in front of him here.
Death Pusher's got it.
God, good job. Oh! Okay, so what Rosa needs to do is just settle down, let those tires come in, don't overdrive the car, stay out of that dirty air, but still close enough to where he doesn't let Death Pusher get away. And
I think everybody just needs to settle down at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they're all scattered out now. They're all spread out. But it's interesting.
I don't think it's going to stay that way for long. Winchester.
No. I'm watching Ghost here. He looks like he's getting around the track pretty good so far. There's still grip out there. But the rain is coming down a little bit harder this time. And we'll see how that ends. He's got front end damage. That hood is crumpled up on that car. So he's going to have to stay in there for a minute to get fixed if he fixes his damage at all. We'll see what happens here. Oh, he's tiptoeing now.
Meanwhile, Ghost is checked out to a 26-second lead, but he's losing.
I'm watching him right now. He's tiptoeing right now. He's got some hood damage.
He's not really losing any time, though. He's not losing a whole lot of time to Winchester.
No, not at all. But like I said, here he comes now down the dog leg, and he's going to bring it into the pits here. A little tap on the brakes there. It looks like there's still a little bit of grip out there, but I wouldn't have tried it. But I guess well done for Ghost for rolling the dice here. Let's see what he's got. Here he comes. No, he stays out.
He's going to stay out.
Oh, boy.
This is an interesting strategy.
Now I think he's really made an error.
Yeah, because the rain does look like it's starting to come down a little bit harder now. In
Oh,
fact,
yeah.
I'm going to hop on board. Let's go on the roof cam and see what it's like.
I'm going to go inside the cockpit here on the Ghost machine, and we'll take a look. I agree. Oh, he's got cracked windscreen. Hood is crumpled up. Upper roof he goes. Feathers the throttle.
Look at that cockpit view.
Yeah, he's beat down.
Buckled hood, broken windshield,
exactly.
rain.
Yeah, not anything that you want to see as a driver at Spa, especially on slicks. This is a big, heavy car. It's going to be hard to hit for him to control if he gets into some kind of a hydroplaning action or some kind of spin. Look at that through the bus stop. This is how he breathes that throttle.
Definitely, you can tell the track's definitely wet now. You're definitely starting to see the
rooster tails,
kind of like the sheen of
the
road, the reflection of it.
I don't see too much water coming off the back tires here, but it's definitely getting a little shiny out there. He's pushing hard still. Oh, get off the ground. Wow.
And now he goes down to the double gauche, which is going to be that double apex left-hander where the car wants to wash out to begin with.
I see him getting 4 off here. Look at that.
Oh, and yep, he's 4 off. Back in. He is definitely tiptoeing, but he's not losing any time, which is really surprising. Winchester's actually lost time.
Now
Winchester's running about 28 seconds behind now.
I'm watching some spray come off just a little bit here and there, some puddles as he's hitting them. So some water starting to build up here on the track. But Ghost rolling the dice here. And wow, I guess this turned out to be a dang good decision here from the Ghost machine. He's going to definitely hold on to that lead. He's got 17 minutes and 26 seconds to go. Whoa! Now he's going a little wide. So I wouldn't try it again. There's a big spray right there coming off his wheels.
That backstretch has definitely got some... yeah, you can definitely see the rooster tails coming off of the car now.
Oh!
Looks like that section of the track. That section of the track is... you definitely see where the puddles are laid and where they're not.
So will he bring it to the house? I'm sure he will now. Yes, he... No!
Wow.
I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say about that. Is that insane or what?
Here's my take. He's probably watching timing and scoring. He knows he's not losing any time to Winchester, so why pit?
True that.
You know, if you're not losing time right now, I mean, you don't want to wait until you're losing a huge amount of time, but the gap has stayed 25 to like 27 seconds.
Yeah. Wow. On slick tires. Go figure. What a great drive so far from Ghost. Didn't know he had it in him, but he certainly is proving his mettle here at Spa-Francorchamps in the GT3 Gunslinger Series. Keeping that Bentley out for an extended period on slick tires in the wet. Very impressive for that young man.
Now he's out to a 29-second gap over Winchester.
So let's take a look at Winchester. What's going on with him? Is he struggling? He is struggling. Here he comes down the source now, around the source now, headed toward the Rouge. He's got the pedal down, but oh, bless you, bless you, bless you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. All right, just get back up here to Ghost here. I'm not wishing anything bad on him, but I'm just kind of like waiting for the roof to crumble down and stuff. You know, I mean,
yeah, really kind of waiting for the ball to drop on this Bentley.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a large enough gap now. I mean, if he did pit, I mean, he would still come out behind Winchester, but it wouldn't be a huge gap. And Ghost has obviously proven that he's fast enough to make up the time. I think now would be the time to pit and really just make the switch.
Look at that puddle. Boosh. I mean, he's kicking up spray 20 feet long, 60 feet high. You know, 60 feet high, or should I say 60 feet long, 20 feet high. But here he comes. Around the bend he goes. Thanks for joining us. If you're just joining us now, you're missing a great race. Hey, Six Gun Johnny, and of course, Kamikaze Fox and Wallace the Dog. Broadcasting live right here from the Fortress of Speed with the Ministry of Speed at Phoenix Motorsports in sunny San Antonio. Fox is, where are you, Fox?
Maryland.
Maryland. There you go. The great state of Maryland. So we're bringing to you the GT3 Gunslingers series.
We've got a battle for the 5th spot. Matt's Box just got around Snooper Duper for the 5th spot.
We're bringing to you the GT3 Gunslingers battle here.
And we've also got a battle for 7th.
There it is.
Interrupting you, but
yeah, it's all right.
Dragon trying to hold. Oh, Dragon's into the wall. Oh, Dragon's into the wall.
David Curry
was trying to hold off Toe Cutter, and now he is into the wall, and he's sitting in the road.
Let's see if I can find him. There he is. Oh, big damage backwards.
Spot.
Easy, Dragon, easy. before the chicane. There he goes, right there. Okay, no, okay, I see where he's at now.
Brian Wingate should be coming up on him any minute now. And here
There
comes
he is.
Wingate, all
On
the way
board.
down in the 10th spot.
On board now with Rosta as he works his way around. So the rain is coming into play here. Ghost has stayed out 3 extra laps, and again he stays out and is taking it around again one more time as the rain continues to fall. Ghost is on slick tires. So we were alluding to the fact that we're just kind of waiting for that to end here and him end up in the wall, but it looks like he's definitely managing his own with that big Bentley. And those slick tires in the wet. So very impressive from this young man. He wants to redeem himself from the last race at Long Beach where he actually was disqualified from the race for resetting to the track. I think he's learned his lesson. Again, wants to redeem himself and prove that he's a better driver than that. And he's certainly proving that today. A little aggressive at the first race, a little aggressive in the second race. One Space messaging me a minute ago saying that this, Ghost is a little bit rough there. So, we'll have the race stewards look at that after the race and see how that all plays out. But One Space having to retire from the race after ending up on his roof after a altercation with Ghost here. So, yeah. A lot to play.
I can tell you, I had a great view on my stream from what I was looking at, and I mean that was not that wreck was not really anybody's fault. I mean it was 3 wide.
Racing incident.
Snoopa Doopa got pushed wide and tried coming back on track, and he made contact with Ghost, and then they both just kind of caught wheels and went left, and that's what really caught One Space. So, I mean, really, if you look back on the replay that I have, I mean, it really looks like a racing incident to me. And that's just 3 cars. That's just too many cars and too little real estate. And unfortunately, One Space got the short end of the stick on that one.
I have to agree with you on that. I was on board with Ghost when that happened, and so I saw One Space's car, his wheels in the windscreen there, and I saw his car going upside down. So I had a bird's eye view of the action. But here he comes around. Will he pit this time, or will he stay out? The gap is still 29 seconds, and he's holding on to it.
The only thing I can think of is, unless he did pit earlier after one of the incidences for the yellow flags, the only thing I can think of is if he was the first one to switch to wets while it was still dry out, and he's on wet tires and we just don't know it. I can't imagine he is running on slick still. If he is, it's an amazing drive. If he's still running on slicks, traction control or not, I mean, you can't run this fast, this long on slicks in the wets. I mean, he's definitely putting in a great drive, but I'm just wondering if maybe he was one of the first drivers to switch to wets while it was still dry out.
He might have done that. He might have done that, and unfortunately, the game doesn't give us the an actual true reading on that. So. It says hard slick on the screen there, but again, I don't know.
Yeah, and they all say hard slick, and I think that's because that's probably referring to our vehicle status, since we are quote unquote retired in the pits. So that's probably what our vehicle status is. We're sitting in the pits on hard slicks. So I'm wondering if maybe he did switch to wets and we just never caught it. And Winchester. I mean, great run by him. He's 30 seconds behind, though.
So I'm showing somebody in the chat here that says he's not on slicks. So BJ Hooligan saying that Ghost is not on slicks. I'm watching the chat there. Sorry about that. The eating thing and the distortion. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but I have it trying to turn down a little bit here. I did turn my mic down, but yeah, okay. Sorry about all that. And yeah, so guess you were right on that call. He is definitely on the wet tire, and he's staying out, and he's about to take this to the bank here.
Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes left to play in this race, and I mean, I guess he made the call before anybody else, and we just missed it. That was the only thing I could think of, and it's definitely paid off for him. Unbelievable drive by Ghost to definitely make up for the Long Beach incident, and obviously make up for last race. I mean, granted, he had a great run to second, but not how he wanted it to go, unfortunately.
Well, he's out here, and
that incident Radion.
Who else do we have? What kind of battles do we have going on here? We don't have anything. Toe Cutter and Hendrick. Hendrick trying to make a move here on Toe Cutter. 3 seconds back. Well, actually 4 seconds behind Toe Cutter. Toe Cutter 2 seconds behind Snoopa. And Matt's box, ways behind. So
Yeah, so they're all spread out. I mean, it's it's ridiculous to think, but all the action happened in the dry. The wet weather hasn't been much of a factor at all.
9 minutes and 10 seconds to go.
Really surprising.
Give me a second here. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. 1 second.
So just to run down the running order, Ghost running all by his lonesome now out front, 27 seconds ahead of Winchester in the Golf-colored Mercedes-Benz GT3 AMG. Death Pusher getting a little bit of pressure now from Mr. Hayne in the Audi. So we do have a battle materializing for the last spot on the podium for that third spot. Mr. Hayne, your championship points leader, and definitely a good wet weather driver according to Six Gun Johnny. So be interesting to see how this one materializes. See if Death Pusher can hold him off. That's your battle for third right now. That's the closest battle on track. You go back a little bit, you pick up Matchbox 20 in the 5th spot, Snoopa Doopa in the 6th spot. And Toe Cutter is semi-close to him, trying to pick him up here. He's in the Ferrari. Behind him is Hendrick. Hendrick in that Audi, closing that gap a little bit. And T-Dax running in the 9th spot, RQ in the 10th spot. Ryan Wingate's race has fallen apart. He is currently running in 11th. And he's got Dragon behind him for 12th. But the real battle that's going on here is going to be this battle here. This is the battle for third. Mr. Hayne now, he's in the slipstream of the Matchbox in front of him, but he's also in that ridiculous amount of spray coming off of the heavy rain here at Spa-Francorchamps. Nothing new for Belgium to have some random weather. The clouds rolled in here on the mountain hills, and down into the valley, and now Spa is having to deal with some nasty weather.
Back at it again. Sorry about that. I had let the dog out here. But yeah, we're all good to go.
Now we're just watching the battle here for the third spot. Death Pusher trying to hold off Mr. Hayne here. This battle materialized over the last couple of laps. We're watching it as well, and you were away, and Mr. Hayne definitely looking to make a move.
Okay, we're Mr. Hayne. Okay, hang on 1 second here. Yeah, I also wanted to go to the restroom here at the very last inconvenient time here with 6 minutes and 42 seconds to go. A great race so far. What do you think, man? Who's going to take this Ghost with a tumultuous lead here? Almost a 28-second gap. I don't think Winchester has anything for him with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
Well, I just had Greg Baker comment on the live stream about how the Bentley looks like it's on rails, and from what I can tell, he's right. I mean, Ghost is just as banged up as that car is. It's on the wets. He made the right call at the right time, and I mean, he's well out in front. Winchester's going to have nothing for him. I think Ghost easily walks away with this. Winchester easily walks away with a second place finish. The only thing really to watch right now is this Mr. Hayne and Death Pusher battle here for the third spot, last spot on the podium.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Death Pusher and Mr. Hayne. Here we go. Where are they? Where's Mr. Oh, here we go. Third spot on the podium. Yeah, definitely. Mr. Hayne on the back bumper there. Can he get around him? I'm sure he has enough speed in that Audi. But Death Pusher is on a tear. He's won the race at the last practice race we had here and at Watkins Glen back to back. So, oh, there it is. He goes wide.
But he's wide coming out of the corner. Oh, but Hayne tries to get the power down too early, and the car snaps to the right. Side by side. We know this doesn't work, guys.
There they go. Up the hill.
Ooh, that's close.
Oh, look at Death Pusher. Oh, my God.
All over the back of him. I mean, Hayne's got the position for now, but I think Pusher's going to be able to make a comeback here going down to Kemble Straight.
Two Australians battling it out here for the last spot of the podium. It looks like it's going to be an all-Australian top three as the Aussies have just dominated here at Spa, taking a early lead and just hanging on to it. Matchbox battling it out here. Ghost battling it out here.
And
unfortunately,
Mr. Hayne's been able to gap him.
Yeah, unfortunately, one space setting sail and having to retire, man. That was just unfortunate for one space there. But yeah, other than that, all Australian top three so far. Let's see if Mr. Hayne can redeem himself from that first race there and get some more points and keep his points lead and of course keep out front racing in the fight. Where's Hendrick in all this? Hendrick is down in P7. Am I right? No,
He's trying to close that gap to Snoopa Doopa.
Hendrick with another. I mean, he's got the damage fixed on the Audi a little bit, but he's going to be definitely kicking himself in the butt for making that mistake early on, heading into the wall. But good for Mr. Hayne picking up that third spot. Looks like he's been able to gap Death Pusher a little bit there in that Bentley. So
yeah,
top three looks like it's settled. Less than 4 minutes to play in this in the second race here in the wet.
So the first opening laps of this race were super exciting, and now as it's winding down here, everybody seems to have settled in to where they're going to finish. I don't see any close battles on the track at the moment. Toe Cutter and Snoopa Dupa within 2 or 3 seconds of each other here. Let's take a look at that.
Actually, it looks like Snoopa might have just had an incident because he lost a bunch of time, and here comes Toe Cutter.
Yeah, definitely.
Toe Cutter's closing that gap.
In that Ferrari, that's a Ferrari, isn't it? Yeah, Ferrari versus Lamborghini here. Wow. Yeah, he's definitely on a tear there. Look at Toe Cutter just taking it way out there, 4 off.
He's trying to keep that power down, keep that turbo spooled up. He's actually closing that gap pretty well, so we got a battle materializing for the 7th spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Control and regain his composure from whatever just happened.
A great pad driver, obviously holding his own here, man. You know, I'm glad I found him, and I'm glad he's having a good time here. Seems like a really nice guy. I think he's maturing into a really great pad driver, and he's being able to compete with these guys with these wheel setups. I know Mr. Hayne has got definitely a wheel setup. I know Winchester has. I know Ghost has. So, you know, we'll see if he can't at least get a podium in the next few races here. But yeah, he's battling it out here. But here comes Toe Cutter. Oh man, he's right there. Great. Look at that. Oh, little bit of snap there from Snoopa Dupa, but he's got that Lamborghini pointed in the right direction, and that's all that matters here. 29 seconds is the gap between Ghost and Winchester, and like you said, that's where it's been, and that's where it's going to stay, it looks like. 2 minutes and 2 minutes even now, 1:58. Would you say this would be white flag, or the one after this?
Probably 2 more laps.
T-Bag's going a little wide here. Go ahead.
Next time by should probably be... Well, and that's going to depend on where Ghost is on the track.
Let's find out where he is right now. He is with the hood crumpled. His
and
car,
he's coming up to...
he's got lap traffic here.
The lap, yeah.
That's a far queue, I believe it is, in the Porsche. So lights are flashing for the far queue machine as Ghost...
So this will probably be white flag lap here.
There you go. Now we're in the white flag area here. So all these cars are on the last lap.
Unbelievable run by Ghost. I really got to give him props on this one. I mean, the beginning of this race was just very hectic. 2 full course cautions and then opening 4 laps. I'm surprised he threw on the wets when he did. I mean, we didn't catch it because the track was still very dry. But he knew the weather was coming, and he threw the wets on there when nobody else was even thinking about it. And he took care of them while they were running in the dry, and he was ready for the wet weather before anybody else.
That was a brilliant move. I mean, he only had to be out there for a lap or 2. I think it was like 2 laps on that wet tire, and then it started raining. So, you know, we thought for sure he was on the slick, but obviously BJ Hooligan.
Yeah, I thought for sure, but I mean, he made that pit stop under that second caution, and I guess he made the right decision because he put those wets on, and running around those 2 laps under caution and letting the time tick off. You're not putting any stress on those wet tires, because you're running under, caution speed. So
Right.
Great strategy call by Ghost.
Wow.
Props to him. And Winchester's probably scratching his head like, what the hell happened?
Unbelievable.
But
so Death Pusher
to Winchester
still can't.
In the second spot.
Death Pusher still can't close that gap. As a matter of fact, it's getting a lot wider. So no glory for him today, other than P4, which is pretty good considering the all the action that has happened on the track here. And Rosta is in P12 in that Lamborghini after having a great run in the second race. The beginning of this race was pretty good for him, but unfortunate for Mr. Wingate here. All the way to the back here.
Yeah, he was caught up in one of those incidences on the restart, and a long pit stop, and then trying to get control of this car into the wet. This race is just falling apart for him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So he's showing some good pace here on the white flag lap, but
yeah,
it hasn't come together for him.
A little bit too late here. So Ghost on the final sector here, about to bring it to the house here and about to taste a victory. to start his win streak, I guess would be one way to put it. He didn't sweep the weekend, but he swept the second race, literally swept the second race. Lights are flashing already.
He's already celebrating.
Yeah, he's already celebrating.
The chicane.
He knows. He's probably listening to us on the stream. So good job for Ghost as he comes around the final chicane here. Bras and panties raining down the Ghost machine as he comes across the stripe here, about to take victory at Spa-Francorchamps. Well done for the Bentley. The Adderley Fong Bentley taking victory in race 2.
Props to Ghost.
Wow. That's a great run here. So Winchester.
That's going to be a big second place there for Winchester in the standings, and that's going to be a big confidence booster for him. You know, mid-pack driver like that.
Now he got beat out of the pits, didn't he? Ghost beat him out of the pits, right? Is that right? Or I guess Ghost pitted early and then never had to pit when Winchester pitted. So Winchester never really had.
Exactly.
Oh, he's around.
Oh,
he's
around. Goes around.
Oh boy, a little bit too much welly in that final chicane.
Son, because Mr. Haynes coming.
Yeah, a little bit too much welly in that final chicane. Here comes Mr. Hayne. A great podium for Mr. Hayne here after not having a great run the first race. Bringing it around the corner here. David Hayne in the 43 Rappa Audi about to cross the stripe here. Great job from these guys. So top 3, Ghost, Winchester, and Mr. Hayne, followed by Death Pusher. Here he comes. And he crosses the stripe.
That's a great run for him.
And Matt's Box bringing it around here. Oh, he's
Matt's
beat that.
Box and beat
Oh
that
my
car
God.
up.
He's beat the pretty off that thing, and he's about to bring it to the house here. But I know he's glad this race is over. So
that is
Matt's
a good
Box.
points day for him between the two races, though.
And Hendrick ways back.
Hendrick, he is going to be upset with himself after the first race, and then making a mistake here in the second one in the wet.
Man, he was way up here.
Good points day for Team Audi, but he was running tough towards the front when he made that mistake.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. He was up in the front. He was up in the front. Here he comes around the final chicane here. So Hendrick 88 Fly couldn't buzz his way to victory lane, but certainly buzzed his way to a top 10, finishing P6. Well done. And the toe cutter in his first race here at Spa missed the first race. In the second race here, not too bad. P7 in that Ferrari around the bend. He goes, still got that windshield wiper slapping back and forth like nobody's business. I don't see too much rain coming down there, but toe cutter finishing in the top 10, so not too bad. And for our pad driver, he's creeping around here. Oh, he's in the wall. Stupid duper in the wall hard here. Not too hard, but yeah, definitely hit the wall trying to get that thing straight.
He's lost the rear wing.
Oh, he got no downforce on that car. That's unfortunate.
That's not good because, oh my goodness, Farkew's car. Oh, and Farkew is into the wall as well. It looks like Farkew's had an incident.
Farkew,
there are all kinds of stuff going on here in the back.
Wow, so Farkew beat that Porsche dead there. Look at that. No wing. His front end crumpled up there. He's got suspension damage. Oh, he's out of the wall. He's celebrating. That's what they're doing.
He hasn't even crossed the line.
He hasn't crossed the line yet, right? Yeah, here comes David Curry about to take that spot from Farkew here. Dragon from Dallas, Texas, about to bring it to the house here. Yeah, David definitely had a rough go there.
Dragon, yeah, he was your pole sitter. Unfortunately, his race didn't turn out the way he wanted it to.
But I got to give him props for sticking with it, man. I mean, he hung in there, and at least he finished. Look, he finished in front of Rosta. I mean, come on. At least he finished in front of somebody here. So that's going to be it, folks. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Kamikaze Fox, Wallace the Dog, and of course me, Six Gun Johnny, broadcasting live right here from the Fortress of Speed with Phoenix Motorsports and the Ministry of Speed. So on the board right now, we have Edward Kindred. Hendrick, man, not the race you wanted. Unfortunately, out front race, he still had a good point stay with Mr. Hayne. What happened, brother?
I don't know. It's just I think it was just more or less the caution cycles that we're going through. Because once my tires were heated up, I was making some pretty good speed out of it, and I was actually catching people and passing them. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just came around that long, sweeping left-hand corner. I was on right behind Hayne and Rosta and Matt's box, and I just lost it. And ended up nosing it into the corner. So.
Mr. Hayne, hang on 1 second here. 1 second. I'll ask you a question. I just got to make an adjustment on one of my settings. 1 second here. Because I couldn't hear. And let me see here. So here and here. So, okay, Mr. Hayne. Wow, what a great day. P3 for you, man. You got to be happy with that result after the first race. Tell me a little bit about your race, and congratulations on that podium.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, it was good fun race. Had a little bit of an incident, I think, with I think it was Matt's, was it? I'm not really sure. Not really sure what happened there, but it was a good. Yeah, it was a pretty good race. No, nothing too much went wrong that time. The little spin in the first race wasn't real helpful.
How was the rain with that Audi there? I mean, your Audi looked like it was having a little bit more luck than Hendrick's Audi there.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. Brake bias is pretty important with it. If you had brake bias too far back, it sort of the fronts were getting a bit cold and it was making it hard. So once I get out, that it was not too bad.
Well, Mr. Hayne, I got to hand it to you, man. A great race, a great recovery from the first race. I know me and Fox were definitely appreciating your drivability and your racecraft. Well done, man. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny.
All right. Ghost, are you in here?
Certainly am.
Ghost, man. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable, man. Now tell me, when you pitted with that damage the first time, did you put wet tires on? Is that why you stayed out?
The first time I went into the pits, I just fixed my damage and went back out. And then 2 laps, I think it was the next lap when we were green, had another accident with one space and that Lamborghini. I forget who was in it. And one space ended up getting hit into me, and I went into the wall. So, and then when I went into the pits, the next time I took the gamble. I looked at how long the clock was at, and it was at about 31 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I took the gamble, put wets on, and I knew the rain would come sooner. All I had to do was try and keep at least a 10-second gap from the leaders, and I knew I'd come out in front, and yeah, that's what happened.
Brilliant.
I mean, it was an unbelievable strategy. I mean, you had us fooled because we thought for sure you were still on slicks. Yeah. And, I mean, you threw the wets on there when it was dry, and you kept them under control, and when the rain came in, you capitalized on it. So props to you on that. Unbelievable race strategy there. Big time win on that one.
Man, I'm speechless, man. That was just a fantastic drive all the way through, man. You had that car on rails. That's what some of the viewers out there were commenting in the box, that your car looked like it was hooked up, man. And impressive stuff, man. A great rebound from the Long Beach incident. We were messaging each other privately, and you said that you were going to redeem yourself and win the next 4 in a row. Well, you didn't get the first one, the second place, but you won this one. You're on your way to those 4, man. Congratulations again on your win. Brilliant victory, man. Awesome stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's see here. We got who else is in the room here? T-Bax, Lamborghini. You had a better run this time, man. What a run up there on the top of the hill at the bus stop, threading the needle between 2 cars, picking up 2 spots here, man. I mean, come on, you look like you were moving, brother, man. You had the jig shoes on, man. Great job from the Cowtown driver, man. Tell me about your race.
Yeah, it actually felt more comfortable that time. Even in the rain, it felt a lot more under control. I think it's just a matter of getting seat time in it, and actually, when I put 1 30-minute practice session in, and then didn't realize it till the practice was over for tonight, I was in a different car, so I basically switched over to this one cold again, and it just felt a lot better in the second race.
Well, man, Lamborghini looked like it was, you were having fun driving it this time. The first race looked a little tough. This one looks a little bit more relaxed, man. And we hope to see you next week at Watkins Glen, man. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
All right, who else we got in the room here? Let's see here. Let's take a look. David, I know you're in here. Dragon, I'll tell you what, man. How did you like starting on pole there, man? Was that, hang on, let me see who else is in here. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, Dragon. How did you like starting on pole there, man? That was looked like a fun run until all the action started happening there, man. Tell me about that.
If I was using a better car, it probably would have been a lot more enjoyable. The Cadillac just does not like having cold tires.
Was turbo lag an issue for you on the start there? Because Winchester, it just looked like he just gang raped you there, man, and just got around.
No, it's just slow.
It's just slow.
Yeah.
Well, David, you have the opportunity to fix. I mean, I already told you I'll get you another car, man. If you want to do that, but I'd like to see you competitive, a little bit more competitive. But still, man, I got to give you props and the all heart award tonight, man, because you had a rough 2 races, man, but you stuck to your guns, man, and I'm definitely impressed with that, man. Good job, man.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Kamikaze, I'll tell you what, man. It was a pleasure having you over here for the GT3 Gunslingers series. What do you think, man? Is this something that you'd like to put your hand in and take a shot next week at Watkins Glen?
I mean, if I have the time, I could definitely try and make it. And see how things work out next weekend. But I mean, it's always a pleasure to be in the booth with Johnny. And
Thank you.
you know, this is my first GT race commentating with you guys. And again, I just want to say really well done from all the drivers and how
Absolutely.
professional you guys were with the full course cautions and the gentleman's agreement you guys have with the retiring the cars the proper way.
Yes.
Shows a lot of maturity and professionalism within the league, and certainly that's going to go a long way of trying to attract other drivers. And even if you guys did other series, I mean, that's something you guys can try and implement in other series for some of the younger guys out there that aren't as experienced. And it definitely shows some true professionalism. So props to all the drivers today. I want to give them a round of applause for that. And
Absolutely.
Dragon, I got to give you a round of applause, too, for, sticking with it. I know that's a rough I've been in that position, being the guy that's just having a bad day and can't get the car to work for him. But, props to you for sticking it out. You didn't rage quit. You run the race. And you still finished in front of Ryan. So, you picked up more points than the next guy. So.
Sorry, Roast. We didn't mean that.
It's not all for naught,
Yes, I guess I can say I didn't finish last in both races. So I guess that counts for something.
You beat Roasta. Again, good stuff, man. I know that my drivers appreciate those compliments, Kamikaze, man. That's awesome stuff to hear. Thank you again. You've been the utmost professional, and of course, brought some stability to the booth here. I really appreciate that. Thank you again. And guys, next week we're going to Watkins Glen, so it'll be same time, same bat channel, Saturday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stand by for that. We've had a couple of winners there already. I know Death Pusher has won there. So maybe he'll have a better run than he did today, but hey, still P4 for him, not too bad. With that said, Wallace the Dog, Kamikaze Fox, and me are saying goodnight for now. And again, the winner here, Ghost, man. That's got to be the best run I've seen on wet tires in a long time, man. Great stuff.
Definitely top notch.
Woo, man, that's one for the books here. Ghost, good job, man. Good freaking job, man. All right, we're out. See y'all later. Arrivederci, adios, and sayonara, suckers. 1 second here. Yes, sir. Watkins Glen. Be there, be